And we are live. I'm just waiting for a few people to join. Hello, Claire. Can you hear me okay? Testing, 1, 2, 3. How are we going on sound? Please put into the chat if you can hear me okay. Welcome, Prakash. Claire, are you able to hear me now? Perfect. Thanks for confirming. Thanks for joining, everyone. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes to give more people some time to join in. Whereabouts are you from, Claire? Perfect. Good morning, Val. Thank you for joining. Iko, thank you for joining. Let me know where you're from, guys. Feel free to type it into the chat. Love to know where our joiners are joining us from. Just going to give it 2 more minutes. We'll start at 5 past, just to give everyone plenty of time to join in and get settled. So if you need to have a bathroom break or get yourself a coffee, now's a great time. You've got about 2 minutes. Great to hear. Thanks, Echo. Aria, great to hear from you. Orlando, fantastic. I'm in Melbourne, Australia, believe it or not. It's 1 AM for me. One more minute and then we'll get started. Hello, Dr. Leslie. Can you hear me okay? Should be able to hear us now. Aria, great to hear from you from Algeria. Fantastic. And Portugal for Prakash. And Ako, a writer from the Philippines. Fantastic, much closer to me. All right, that puts it as 5 past. I might dive right in. Catherine, great to hear from you from Philippines as well. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Candice, if you wouldn't mind the slideshow, now would be a fantastic time. So thanks for joining us, everyone. My name's Jared Walls. I'm the Special Projects Manager here at Dibbly. Candice, if you go to the next slide for me, please. So today we're going to be introducing you all to Dibbly Create, which is our latest offering. A little bit of history on the Urban Writers. We were founded in 2018 by Marco and Natasha, essentially transforming the way that freelancers can connect and create content and collaborate with customers. It's been a fantastic journey. I've been a customer for a couple of years now and ended up doing a little bit of consulting with the team, and then recently took on a more permanent position. So we have over 5,000 creative minds at the Urban Writer and over 1 billion words written, with well over 20,000 customers now. And we've about to showcase for you today Dibbly Create, which is our AI-assisted creation tool. And we've got a lot to get through, so please forgive me if I speak quite fast. The session is being recorded and we will put it on YouTube afterwards, and there will be a Q&A at the end. So that should hopefully enable me to move pretty quickly for you today. So save your questions for the end, guys, and we'll do our best to address all of them. Okay, we'll jump into the platform now, please, Candice. Fantastic. So for those of you who haven't seen it before, this is Dibbly Create. Essentially what we've done here is harness the power of AI to build a huge suite of tools to augment and accelerate the writing process. So just like you've used spell checkers for many, many years in Microsoft Word and so forth, with the emergence of AI, this has given us a heck of a lot more power to be able to generate content, review content, research content. We'll take you through all of the varying tools. Now, as you can see, I'm just logged in for Dibbly here, and this is the main menu for Dibbly Create. On the left-hand side, we have the menu where you can go home, which is where we are now, which will show you things like how many tokens you have available, how many you've used, how many active projects you have, even projects you've recently viewed. And we also have the ability to create folders so that you can keep your workspace organized. From within there, you can also navigate to My Projects for a direct view of the actual projects that you've got within your account. You can also share cross-platform, so if you're working with other members of your team, there's no limit to how many collaborators you can have in. That works quite well. And we also have the folder menu. Then we also have a range of templates as well to help you get started, from anything from translations to plot outlines, ebooks, SEO. We'll be growing this more as we proceed. And something else we're going to spend a little bit more time on later is our prompt library, which is a fantastic way to generate marketing plans and content. We also have trash, which is really handy if you need to go back and check for something that you've deleted. If you do delete a project, it stays within the trash for 30 days, so you can come back and grab it later. Then, of course, we have our settings where you can do things like enable dark mode, very handy if you work nights, as I do. We also have access to the help center, which is where you can report a bug or contact support or initiate a live chat. And then also our tutorials here, which we're about to start growing a lot more tutorials with in-depth instructions on how to make the most of Kip AI and the Dibbly Create platform. So I'm going to dive into a book that I've actually pre-generated. I'm going to walk through all of the different tools that I've used throughout this process. I pre-built it just so that you wouldn't all have to wait for the building process. It's actually quite quick, but we're going through a lot of tools today. So essentially, I have already researched my category ahead of time. I'm sure a lot of you are across the use of KD Spy and similar tools like that. We will do a more in-depth research webinar a little bit down the track. For now, what I've done is just go ahead and create this section, this book called Meditation for Creativity. And then I've got my notes, which I'll take you through how I generated each one of those throughout the process. And then I've actually produced the book as well. So first step for me was obviously category research. Now, before I go to that screen, actually, I should show you how to get in there. So in order to initiate Kip to do some work for you, just click on Kip up the top right here. He's also available on the far right here if you want to ask him questions like help generating topics or anything along those lines. So to initiate Kip, you simply click on him at the top right here, and we have our Kip Generate AI tools. So we have the content writer, which you can use to write chapters, introductions, anything along those lines. We also have an outline generator, which is used for generating a detailed outline for your novel. Really handy if you're working with freelancers or just collecting your thoughts, planning the book. It's always important to do the outline ahead of time. We have a description writer as well, which is a fantastic tool where you can even just drop your already built book in there and it will create a description for you effortlessly. We have a research tool, which I'll go into in a moment. There's actually quite a few different research components. I'm just going to pause for 2 seconds. Claire's reported that she's got some freezing and unfreezing. How's everyone else going? Please let me know in the chat if this is stable for you. Okay. Can everyone hear me okay? And are we still moving along okay? We're getting a little paused video, unfortunately. I'll try to talk a little bit slower. Maybe that will help. My connection looks pretty solid. Bear with me one moment while I talk to my support and see what's happening. Apologies, everyone. We seem to be getting a little bit of pausing and unpausing. I'm just going to pause for 2 moments while we have a quick look into it. Okay, let's see if that's given it a chance to catch up. Can everyone hear me okay now? Bear with me just a moment. I'm just going to switch off the camera and see if that makes a bit of a difference. Okay, how's that going for everybody? Please let me know in the chat if that's made a difference. Just going to wait for confirmation to see that we're running okay now. Okay. How's that going? Has that cleared it all up for everybody? Please let me know in the chat. Sorry about this, everyone. No matter how many tests you do, there's always a spanner in the mix. Just waiting on confirmation that we're clear and moving okay now. I'm getting a little bit of a mix of good for some, but not for all. Again, apologies for this, everyone. We'll get back on track in a moment, hopefully. Okay, seems okay for now. Perfect. I'll pick things back up. Okay, so I'm just going to dial back to going through the Kit Generate tools that we have available here for those of you who unfortunately had an unstable connection. So the tools that are available via Kit Generate include Content Writer, which we use for generating chapters, introductions, and everything in between. We also have our Outline Generator, which is used for the creation of your book outline. We also have the Description Writer, a fantastic utility we'll look at shortly. You can actually drop your entire manuscript into there and it will generate a description for you for adding to the back of your book and onto your Amazon account. Excellent. Great for everyone confirming. Thank you. We also have the research utility, which we're going to go through in depth and talk through how to research like a pro. There's quite a few different components to the research tool. We also have the summarizer, very similar to the description tool, but this is a great way to actually summarize the book that you've produced, and very helpful for the likes of your Amazon listings, so on and so forth. We also have the biographer, which is a great place where you can write your author biography. We'll talk through that. And then also the title generator, which is a fantastic way you can input the idea of your book, and Kit will help generate a whole bunch of title ideas for you, subtitle ideas, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. So that's the offering we have currently. We will be adding more tools as we go. As you can see, we have the plagiarism checker coming soon. We have image generator coming soon, which is also going to be very helpful for things like cover design. Social media content. Will be growing this platform quite a bit in the coming months. So we'll dive into the research. Now, as you can see, when you get into the research tool, we actually have 5 different sections you can use. We have Amazon category search analysis, which is what I've got here. We have Amazon search term analysis, which I'll show you next. We also have the in-depth book analysis, YouTube search term analysis, and Google search term analysis. Now, for the Amazon category search analysis, as you can see on the left, we have search type books. Then that will automatically, because it's plugged into Amazon, populate with a list of the different categories. We've chosen self-help for this example. Then subcategory, and we can even go down one level further for subcategories if need be. So for this one, we're doing self-help and creativity. Now, below, we also have the advanced search options, which I've gone ahead and populated. You can put information in here, such as what are the common themes found within the category that you're researching, define the primary audience, list how to create differentiating content to help you have a competitive advantage over the existing titles. Then we also have look for references to meditation for creativity. That was a little bit of an early thought of mine, because I'm going into 2 categories with this, being creativity and meditation to enhance your creativity. Now, as you can see, once you hit the search button, it generates what's in the screen here. I've gone ahead and done that ahead of time so that you don't have to wait for the loading screen, which is very quick, but we have a lot to go through. Now, it's going to show you how many tokens that you've used, which is fantastic. So that can help you to budget out your use of tokens. We've recently done effort to reduce how many tokens are used, and that's working beautifully. Now, once you get this information come into the window, as you can see here, we're going to get an analysis of the bestseller rank. We're going to see a breakdown of the customer rating, total ratings, formats. That'll include things like digital book, hard copy, audiobook, and so on. We also have our daily units sold, monthly units sold, and also a pricing comparison. Now, as we scroll down in the screen, we're also going to get a lot of fantastic information, such as a market analysis, including what are the common themes found, an introduction to the category itself. We're going to get a breakdown of the market size and growth, which is fantastic. As you can see here, based on the category I've chosen, it says the market size for self-help creativity books is substantial, with a steady growth trajectory in recent years as individuals seek ways to enhance their creative abilities and find fulfillment through artistic expression. The demand for books that offer practical advice and exercises to cultivate creativity continues to rise. So that's a great indicator that the category we've chosen is a growth category, and it's worth putting some time into here. We also have a bit of a brief explanation of the key players within this space, the target audience, which really is all ages for this section. We also have a conclusion talking us through essentially what the takeaways are from this research. Now, as we scroll down, we have category problems and questions. So here we've been given how to create differentiating content, how creativity can be nurtured and developed in individuals. I won't read the whole list for you. As you can see, it gives us a number of points there, which we can save to project, which I'll show you in a moment. We also have some questions, problems, challenges, and also marketing goals, which is absolutely fantastic. As you can see, the information that it's digging out of here is really going to help you with your research to understand, based on what you're searching, where there's an area that you can set yourself apart from the existing titles. Now, what you do once you've built this out is you can hit Save to Project. As you can see, when you hit the Save to Project button, you can either save it as a note or a section. Now, this is part of the research phase, so I would save that as a note, which I've already done, and I'll show you that in a moment. When we get to the content generator, that's what you would likely do as a section, because that's going to form the structure of your book itself. So if I jump back into my project here, as you can see, I've got my notes, and here is my category search analysis. Because I saved it to the note, I've got all that data there, and I can leave that there because the notes don't export when you export your book ready for publish. So this is a great place where, as you proceed through all of these varying research tools, you can make sure that you save that information, refer back to it later. You may, once you get to the point of generating your outline, you may want to come and grab bits and pieces in here and splice them in there. That's completely up to you. I've found so far Kip has been amazing for me, and it just seems to include the information I'm after. So next I'm going to jump into the Amazon search term analysis. As you can see in here, we can select the amazon.com domain. Then I enter in my search term. Based on my previous research, I was able to identify that creativity enhancement was a good space, and I couldn't find any competition of meditation for creativity. While I did find a lot of creative meditation, not meditation for creativity. So that's a little niche I've honed in on for this. Now, when you put this in, you can select a number of books that you want to include in this research. You can also do a custom query. I've included in mine, what are some common themes found? Second custom query, define the primary audience again, and then list how to create differentiating content. I do like to ask that regularly, just to get some more enhanced points. Now, as you can see, once you do that, it's actually going to pull those top 5 books that it thinks are relevant to my search terms. We get the cover, we get a whole bunch of product overview, such as publication date, customer rating, total rating, bestseller ranks, pricing, information on how many units are being sold based on daily, monthly, and then you also get the variants and the formats. That's really handy to know what people are buying in this space. Then we also get our summary reviews category. I absolutely adore this function. This is actually going to go ahead and read a whole bunch of the first reviews for you, and it's going to summarize them. So the amount of time for me as an author that this saves me in my research is just phenomenal, because as I'm sure many of you are aware, when you're doing your research and you want to deep dive and understand what people are liking or disliking about your competition or the other books that are within the category, to be able to have the AI go through and summarize that for you is a huge time saver. So as you can see from the reviews on this specific book, I've got a whole bunch of strengths and a whole bunch of weaknesses. So I can use that to refine my outline and ensure that I'm emulating the strengths as best as I can and steering away, if not improving on the weaknesses as best as I can. Then we also get our competitive edge. In here, it's going to tell us things about the writing style and the language, proficiency and readability, writing style aspects. It's going to do keyword analysis for us. A little bit more on the competitive edge down here, include more personal anecdotes and stories. Now, again, this is all coming from reviews. So this is what people who are interested in this category are saying about the existing titles that are already there. As we go down, we also have, based on content, what are some of the common themes found? Again, really to help you quickly absorb what others are doing in this space so that you can be on top of your content. We can also define the primary audience. Again, you do get a little bit of repetitive stuff across here, but it's always good to see it based on different books, based on different search terms. It's really good to look over these steps again, because you just never know where something can come up as a differentiation and help you to really hone your approach. And as we scroll down, we just get the further additional 5 books, all the same information presented in the same way. It's quite uniformed. And again, I definitely recommend hitting Save to Project. You can also copy that if you want to paste it somewhere else. And you can search again if you want to rerun that search for whatever reason, maybe change a couple of the fields you've got on the left. You can absolutely do that. But I do recommend always saving to project. It's a great idea to keep all of the research you've done, and it's saving into that project. So you're keeping all your research consolidated within the project itself. So now we're going to dive into the Amazon in-depth book analysis. Now, what I did was, based on that search term analysis, look through that, and also went to the category myself to look around and find, I guess, who I would consider to be the closest to what I'm trying to accomplish with my book, which for me was this spontaneous creativity, meditations for manifesting your positive qualities. So from my searching, this is the closest I can find. As you can see in here, you can search the top 50 book reviews against this specific title. We've got the domain again. We do plan to expand on that at a later date. Then in here, you can put in your ISBN or the ASIN number of the book that I'm doing my in-depth analysis on. And then you also have some advanced information here as well. If you really want to go deep into those reviews and look for something specific, you can absolutely do that. Now, again, when you scroll down, you start to get some more detailed information on this title specifically. Again, all types of information on the ratings, on the pricing. We scroll down, we get a more in-depth review of the strengths, the weaknesses, proficiency and readability, writing style aspects, themes and handling. If we go down further, we also get our keyword analysis, which is extremely useful. I would definitely recommend saving that, ensuring that you're getting those keywords that really relate to your topic are absolutely pivotal. We now know from research that the majority of readers that log on to Amazon looking for a book, they know what they're looking for when they go in, and they search for those keywords, if not that title, straight away. So having this type of information on your competitors and on yourself and knowing what keywords to use is absolutely critical. So here's a great way to generate that and find out what your competitors are doing very, very quickly. And if we scroll down, we also get some long-tailored keywords. So as you can see, that's a really significant amount of keywords and long-tailored keywords available for you to compare. You can do this over and over again as well. If you want to do the in-depth book analysis on multiple competitors and pull this and then work from an extended list for what suits you best, you can absolutely do that. Then when we scroll down, we also get 5 competitive edges based on this book that we can use to really make sure that we're going that step further with our title. Now, the next tool I'm going to show you is the YouTube search term analysis. I find this a really great way to enhance the research that I'm doing a little bit outside of Amazon itself. This is actually going to go look at some YouTube videos. It's going to, from within here, as you can see, I've put in the search term of the title of my book to help tell it what I'm looking for, and an intention, so finding popular methods of using meditation for creativity. I've told it to look at 5 top videos. Then we can select the outputted items that we want to review, such as video descriptions, summary review, key takeaways, name entity recognition. That wasn't so important for me at this time, but I'm sure there'll be tasks I'll use that for at another time. We can also list out the keywords on YouTube, which is a great way to build on those keyword lists again. Then you can also have thumbnails if you want. I didn't find it necessary for this. And then again, you can also enter in some queries for an advanced search, such as what are some beneficial technologies. I do want to include that in my book because there's a lot of emerging technology to aid and augment the meditation process these days, from apps to devices, all sorts of things. Wanted to understand what the most popular methods are and also list what people liked the most. Now, as you can see, again, we get our tokens used, so you know what you're spending. And then from here, we have a list out of the 5 videos that it went and found. So 5-minute meditation to access your creativity, which is that's right on point with what I'm trying to write about. So even though, as you saw before from the Amazon search that I didn't find a lot of direct competitors exactly where I am. Whereas when I go to YouTube, I can find people focusing exactly on what I'm doing here. So this is a great way to enhance and buffer out that research. And I can use this to learn and include a lot of the information coming here into my outline. So here I get a description of this video. I get a bit of info such as the publish date, the author, how many views it's had, the tags applied to it. Again, that can be really helpful with your keywords. Also, if you are going to reference this, it's great to know who published it and when for your acknowledgements or your references in the back of the book. We have a breakdown of the main topics and ideas. We also have content insights. Fantastic breakdown. The AI is really doing a good job of getting that content that we need out of there. It saves you a lot of time having to go watch all these videos. We get a summary, our key takeaways, keywords again. Based on the content, what are our beneficial technologies? As you can see, it's actually really dug into the video and it has found me great information there. So again, I can incorporate that into my outline. And I do apologize, guys. We're definitely going to go a little over time. So if you do need to push anything or what have you, please do so. Now, we also have, based on the content, what are the most popular methods? As you can see, it really has captured what I'm asking for there and pulled that out of the video. What people liked most, it's definitely grabbed that as well out of the comments. And then if we scroll down, we start to get a little bit more information. We get some links. And as we scroll down, we start to get the results for the further 5 videos as well. So there's a huge amount of information in here. And again, I highly recommend saving that to project, which I've gone ahead and done already. So if I go to relevant articles here, I've got my links, I've got my competitive edge, I've got everything so I can review it later. So again, it's really, really handy being able to save these as notes into your project and then come back to them later. So next step is the Google search term analysis. Again, this is going to actually look at Google itself for websites, articles, so on and so forth, another way to enhance your research. From within here, we can search for our term. And again, I've just put in the title of my book because it's pretty straightforward. It includes my keywords. I've asked for 5 articles. Included in these output items, I've asked for a summary review, the key takeaways, meta description. I was less interested in the number of words here because I'm really just research gathering. Outbound or internal links I've asked to be included. Keywords, again, I want to grab them everywhere I can because it's always good to be casting your eyes over different options and adding those to your list if you think they're beneficial. Alternative angles as well, which is fantastic. That's going to help me really buff out my outline. So within this screen as well, we have advanced search queries where I can enter things in like some common themes found, define the primary audience again. This is a great way for me to captivate if there are other audiences this is appealing to, if I need to make any refinements or adjustments to my title and really hit that target audience. But again, I've been fortunate enough with this example to choose something that's really suitable for all ages. And we've also got how to create differentiating content again. It's very useful to keep adding that in because it really helps you set apart from your competition. And as the research told me, this is a growing category, but if you want to jump into a category that's got a lot of competition, even if it is experiencing consistent growth, you do want to set yourself apart. It's very important. So from within these results, as you can see here, we get the links that it's found. We've got a summary, key takeaways, the meta description, everything we've asked to be included, alternative angles. This is absolutely fantastic stuff to help me grow apart. Summaries, key takeaways, we get our meta description, more keywords, the competitive edge, alternative angles. I have to admit, research for me as my journey as an author has always been one of the key factors for me. It's really important to nail that research before I go investing too much time and money into a project. And I've never seen a tool anywhere that is this comprehensive and can help me get this much information so quickly. And again, thanks to being able to save it as a note, I've literally got all of these researches saved to the notes section of my project here. So moving forward, we've got our search term analysis done. Bear with me jumping through the tabs. It was the quickest way to have all this in one place for everyone. And we're going to go into the title generator next. Again, just to refresh, it's as simple as going and clicking on Kit, and we have title generator here. You can also favorite your tools if you like and have a tab here because we will be building this screen out with more tools as we progress. And you can also see history. So if you do want to look at something you've built historically, you can go into the history tab there and see your historical searches. As you can see, if I go back in, I can see the one that I've already run a little earlier today, but we'll jump in and have a look at that screen now. And title generator, here we go. So within the title generator, we are looking for non-fiction. Apologies, it's dropped my fields again. A brief description, I just put in a brief description of my book, and the audience was for all ages. Search type was for books, category. Again, we'd pull this directly out of Amazon, so I went for self-help and creativity, and that's as deep as I could go on this. Again, we definitely have the custom search queries. Again, if you want to include anything specific in there, I did put in meditation. And then as you can see, once that spits out, we have everything that we need in here for top related keywords. This is all relevant to what I've put in: mindful living, stress relief techniques, daily meditation practice. There's a lot of great content in here. Now, as we scroll down, we can see the average price for a book. We can see common topics and concepts: meditation, mindfulness, self-reflection, emotional well-being. This is fantastic stuff. And then we get our potential titles for the book. Now, one of the things I personally love about this, it gives me a lot of options. They're all relevant to what I've entered. We also get a whole bunch of subtitles. You can save that to your project, and then you don't necessarily have to copy and paste something straight out of here. What I like to do is grab what sounds good to me, what's a really good ear ringer that has keywords that really relates to the topic I'm building on. So if I want, I can grab, the first couple of words of a potential title for a book and then grab another chunk of the potential subtitles. This is a great way to generate that information to help you with your creative juices read over a whole bunch of relevant suggested titles and subtitles, and put together something that really suits well with you. So that's the title generator. Again, I always recommend saving to project. You can edit these things once you're in the project generator, and we'll have a little bit of a look at that in a moment. But again, saving to project and keeping all of your research handy is key. I don't delete anything personally. So the next tool is the outline generator. Now, from the outline generator, again, unfortunately, it hasn't kept what I put in a little bit earlier, but in here, I just went and did adults because it's for all ages, but I'm not putting any sensitive content in here that's not suitable for children, so it would still be fine. We would select non-fiction, how many chapters, I chose 8, number of words you want the outline to be. I usually like my outlines to be around 2,000 words. We can put in our book title, which I've already done, genre of the book, which was self-help, main topic, which was meditation to enhance creativity, and then an explanation for the book. Now, as you can see, once that comes out, again, we do get our tokens used. So you're always becoming mindful of how many tokens you're using as you're progressing. From down here, we have a really well-generated outline from Kip himself. We have our manuscript requirements, which is the overview, objectives of the manuscript. What is it about? This is really handy stuff to prepare a freelancer if you're working with them, or just for yourself to really ensure that that Kip is creating an outline that covers everything. We have our reader takeaways. We have questions that the readers would want answered reading this manuscript, our target audience. We have other books in the niche, style and tone, competition analysis. And as we scroll down, we start to get our chapter summary. Now, I'm going to come back to this in a moment when we start using the content creator. For me, it's as simple as selecting these sections. As you can see, I can scroll down and grab a whole section and hit copy, which we'll come back to in a moment. But as you can see, these outlines are fantastic. This is our introduction. We have our engaging hook with dot points. We have our highlighting the problem with more dot points, addressing the reader's pain points, building trust and authority. And that's everything in the introduction. And as we flow down, as you can see, we get our chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At the bottom of each chapter, you also have, because I've chosen to include the links, which should have been in here, but as you can see, we have our potential links. So this is, the outline generator. We get to that in the chapter generator. So also in the outline, it'll give you potential links that you can research, do some reading, get more familiar with your topic, and so on and so forth. Now, when we get to content generator, which I'm about to do now, what I like to do is simply grab the outline. I can make adjustments if need be, but for the case of showcasing these tools today, we can just grab that whole section and do Control-C to copy. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump into, as you can see, we've got my exported outline here, but we'll jump into the content writer. Now, I can just paste that whole chapter description directly into this chapter outline. As you can see, I've got my introduction, engaging hook, everything that was in the outline that we produced for this chapter into this field here. Now, I've told it that I'm creating a book chapter. We can choose fiction. We're going to be enhancing later, but for the moment, we're doing non-fiction. I've told Kip that this is an intro or a conclusion chapter. You only enable that for the intro or the conclusion, of course. And then I've asked Kip to include the research URLs, which I'll show you in a moment. And then you get a choice here to either use Kip's suggested research sources, or you can tick this box here to include your own research sources. So if you're already well versed on this topic and you'd like Kip to actually go to your designated resources and use that for the research, you can absolutely do that too. Then you can also set the tone and writing style and also the target audience in here, which I chose all ages. Now, once you put all that in, you hit generate. Again, I did that ahead of the webinar just so that we wouldn't spend time on loading screens. We get our final token usage, and then we get the name of our chapter. As you can see, it's created a fairly substantial and very well-reading introduction to the book itself. It breaks it down into the key points. It addresses everything that's required. Down the bottom, we get correctly formatted references that we can, later on, we can copy those out and move those down to our acknowledgements and references at the end of the book. But that is a very well-generated introduction to this book. Now, from there, as always, I always say to save it to the project. And in this iteration, what I actually like to do is just select the title of the chapter, do Control-V, save to project, Control paste that into my section, and then that's going to save that as a section of the book, which we'll get to later. Now, for the sake of speed, using this myself, I've been able to turn out an entire book in 40 to 60 minutes. And all I would do from this point now is jump back into the outline, scroll down to chapter 1, grab chapter 1, select everything I need, Control C, jump back into here. I can hit clear results, paste that over the top of my outline and hit generate again, and just repeat that process throughout all of the chapters of the book and the conclusion itself. And then the end result that I get being my sections down here, as you can see, because I've been saving now in my sections area. We have the introduction. Lovely. I've already gone ahead of time and taken those links out, which were down in the bottom here, and I've started populating my references down here. So that only takes a couple of minutes to go through each chapter, grab those references off, put them at the bottom, and I have a very extensive references list of everywhere that Kip has gone and researched this book for me. I can also go and double check those myself if I want to make sure things are accurate or I want to do some more learning about the book myself. We've tested this extensively ourselves and it works beautifully. Now, as you can see, because I've done it ahead of time, I've got my introduction, I've got my additional chapters. That actually only took me about half an hour to get to this point. And we're ready to go. So from there, I'll move on to, we've got the outline, we've done our content generation. Excellent. So the next step, once you get to there, you do a little bit of course, there's a opportunity here to go through and review absolutely everything. Now, we do have some additional tools that can be handy here. You can, for instance, select your intro line, and we can ask Kip to rewrite. Give Kip a little bit of direction, hit go. And as you can see, when Kip does that, he'll actually tell you what has been reworded. So in red, it'll say what words have been removed. In green, it'll say what it has been replaced with. And we can do that over and over again. We can copy to clipboard, hit try again, or discard. So this is a fantastic way if you just want to go through the book, and if you happen to find a sentence that you think is too similar to a previous sentence, or you just want to change it, see what else comes out, you can do that as much as you like. You can go down here. It's a great opportunity as well to humanize the book. If you've got some of your own thoughts and comments and questions you want to splice in, this is your opportunity now to go through and humanize the book, edit it to whatever degree you would like to yourself. Essentially now we've got the backbone of our book completely built. We've got our intro, we've got our chapters, we've got our references. We can go through and change wherever we need. We will be talking a little bit about the prompt library when I get to the end of this process, but even from within here, you could start to do /Kip, which will open up Kip himself. And as you can see, we've got all of these options again to write. Kip can write on our behalf. We can brainstorm ideas. We do also have our image generation tool, which if we get time, we'll talk on at the end. You can ask Kip for assistance with things to generate some more ideas or some suggestions or some changes, whatever you might need. Dr. Leslie, yes, this will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. We also have our prompt library here, which I did want to show you, so we can see all prompts. And the prompt library has a wealth of tools for content generation, marketing, sales, and so forth. You can generate SEO articles, non-fiction book ideas, metaphors, all kinds of things that you might want to splice in. I'm just going to pause for a moment. I'm just getting a few comments that it may be having some buffering problems again. See if I'm quiet for a moment, it gives it a chance. How's that going for everyone? Can you hear me clearly again now? Claire, you were having some breakup. Can you hear me now? Just let me know in the chat, guys, if this is running smoothly for you now. Okay, let me just check with the team. Fantastic. Going good again now. Thanks for being patient with us on this, guys. I'll make sure I pause every couple of minutes to give the buffer a chance to catch up. So yes, the prompt library, we'll touch on that again a little bit in a moment. So now that we've got the backbone of the book done, let's jump forward a few steps and suggest that we've already done our editing, we've built the backbone, we've edited, we've reworded things here and there, and we're happy and we're ready to go. So the next step would be exporting. So we would click up here to export. In fact, let me just go back. We want to use export version 2.0. So we click on the three dots at the top right here. We have our original export and export 2.0. The reason we built the secondary export is we now have the ability to export to EPUB. So you can do PDF and EPUB. So as you can see, if I click on my template for export, I've got one for PDF and one for EPUB, just to show you a little bit of the differences. With the EPUB, I don't bother leaving the title and subtitle in. That would be stuff that's on the cover. On an EPUB, I find that less important. As you can see, it's created for the EPUB clickable links to jump people forward, and we get our preview window here. We can see that things are justified as we would like to see. We have our titles, we have everything we need. Now we have an advanced section within here. I'll show you as I jump back into the PDF view. If I go ahead and jump into advanced settings here, we can change a whole bunch of things. We can choose what content to include or exclude. We can jump into the table of contents. We can edit the font, the size, the styles, the spacing. We also have our bold styling as well. You can edit the title page here. You might want to enter in the title of the book. Meditation for creativity. You can also do your title positioning, top of the page, middle of the page. We have a range of different fonts and styles. Again, as you progress, there's lots of control over this kind of stuff. Let me just put that back on PDF so you can see what that would look like a little better. As you can see, this all updates nicely. And we get our preview. So we're now finally able to give you the flexibility to change the sizes. We can change the export type, so PDF to EPUB. Beautiful, just how we'd like. And again, we can rearrange, we can change fonts, we can change layout. You can also go deeper and edit things like section headings, paragraphs, headings, and margins. I won't touch on that too much today because I've already gone well and truly over time. Okay, so, and that would be the export component. Now we do have another couple of tools I just want to run you through very quickly. I know I've already gone over time. Thanks for staying with me, everyone. So we also have the biographer. As you can see in here, this is a great way to generate your biographer, your author biographer. So you can enter in your name, age, place of birth, significant life occurrences, your writing style, any major works, awards and achievements, give it the length, and hit generate, and Kip will gladly generate for you a biography that you can use. It'll even suggest some pen names, as many of us do use. So that's the biographer. This is, again, just another handy utility to help you generate this stuff quickly. I always recommend saving to project so that you can edit things, humanize it, make it your own. Now, we also have the description generator. As you can see, I've pre-generated this as well because I do upload the entire file in here. So you can see once I'd actually hit export with my PDF, I've uploaded the file within here. I've told it it's a non-fiction within the self-help category, and I want the tone to be analytical. Now from there, it's generated a book description for me. It's fantastic. It's given me a heading. It's given me everything that I want to include on the back of the book, and even a call to action to include. Now, again, I save this to the project. It gives you a chance to edit it, make any changes you'd like. You could use your prompt library, or you do some Kip rewording, whatever you would need to do. But again, all the tools you need here to really generate everything, start to finish, very, very quickly. And then the last item we have is the summarizer. If you want a more in-depth summary of the book you've just generated, again, you can choose to upload via, you can put in some sections, a video, or the file itself. I've gone ahead and pre-uploaded the file. Kip has actually read the entire manuscript we've generated to generate this summary for me. We can also do additional output options such as blog post ideas, tweet ideas, and a condensed summary. We've got some advanced queries in here, such as what were the main topics I discussed, what methods are discussed, and what are the key takeaways. I know this seems repetitive, but for mine, this is a little bit different from the advanced queries that I was looking at with the books I was researching, because this is coming from the text that I've just generated. So this is really important for me to know post uploading into Amazon. So as you can see, we get our extended summary, key takeaways, we get blog post ideas, tweet post ideas, and we get our coverage of the main topics discussed, methods that were discussed, and the key takeaways. So really within 40 minutes to an hour, you can generate that entire book, everything you need for summaries, for your advertising, for that kind of stuff. As I mentioned, we also have our KIP image generator, which we will be enhancing. You can use that for generating imagery for your covers. You can use that for generating images for social media posts. We're going to be expanding that over time and generating a really all-encompassing image generator to help, again, expand that process. But just to give you a little bit of a look, we can go /KIP, click on KIP. We have our image generator, meditation for creativity, and see what comes out. Not that I'd leave it in the book, but I do want to give you a look at as many tools as I can while I've still got you all here. And in a moment, we're just going to jump into question time, guys. So if you do have any questions, please have them ready. And there we go. Nice little meditation space. So as you can see, KIP has taken on board the keywords that I entered in. This could be used for a background image or I probably wouldn't use it for my front cover image, but again, we can hit try again. We can enter in different prompts to refine exactly what we want included. Like with all AIs, the more detailed information you put in the prompt, such as I would like to see a person meditating in whatever pose, or you'd like perhaps not a person, you might just want to relax scenery like this so that you can have words over the top for your cover. There's a whole range of options. So as you can see, it's a great way to start generating that content to use for your advertising, covers, and so on. Now, I've been talking for a while, and thank you all so much for staying through us with the technical difficulties. We might move over to some question time now and see if we can field some questions. Candice, if you could bring up the slideshow again for me now, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you kindly. All right, so feel free to throw any questions you've got in, guys. I'm going to do a quick little review and see if I can find anything in here. Again, thank you so much for staying with us. Does the tool do formatting? Yes, absolutely, through the export. So within text itself, you can select text here. We can do bold, italics. We have a whole range of styling from headings to bullet list, numbered list, quoting. Huge range of stuff you can do in here. We can change the colors. We can fill. We can align, and then you also have all of those tools that we saw at the exporter at the end. So yes, we can absolutely do all the formatting from within here. The idea is you can do everything you need to do to get this ready to upload to Amazon straight from Generate. Straight from KIP Create, I should say, sorry. Getting my words tired already. Any other questions we can help with? Talk about tokens, sure. So as we talk through, we have a couple of different levels when you sign up for KIP. We obviously have our introduction for when you sign up for Create. So we have our introductory plan and then some more advanced plans. So you can go ahead and get started with some smaller plans now if you want to experiment and learn how the system works and have a bit of trial and error. Tokens are essentially, you get a budget of tokens based on your membership, which are refreshed monthly. And these are used to, each time you perform one of the major functions with the KIP tools up the top here, they will use a certain amount of tokens to produce. That's obviously to cover our costs and what it costs for us to manage things inside and out for maintaining the connection, developing, so on and so forth. So we've recently gone through a project of reducing how many tokens are required and then fully tested to make sure we're still getting really high quality content, and that's working absolutely beautifully. So you'll get plenty of tokens to use for your plan. If you do need to talk to someone at our team about the tokens and what you think would be right for you, feel free to talk with one of our sales staff and we can absolutely break that down. So essentially, when you create your plan, you get allocated the appropriate amount of tokens based on your membership level, and then you will use tokens as you use these major tools, and that will come out of your token balance. So if I go back to the mainstream here, again, I have a lot of tokens because I test and develop for Dibbly. So I have my total tokens available, total tokens used, and that helps me to keep track of how I'm progressing with my usage of tokens throughout the process. Okay, let's have a little bit more of a look through the questions. So do books need special creation tools to become audiobooks? Yeah, absolutely. You need to, if you want to create an audiobook, we will look into some narration platforms as we get a little bit further down the track. At the moment, we have some amazing freelancers. If you want to look through the Urban Writer for some narration experts to help you with that, we have plenty available, and we do plan to release some tools for that a little bit down the track. So Dibbly, or the Urban Writers as you may know it, as you may know, we're rebranding from the Urban Writers to Dibbly. Everything will be Dibbly soon, but we have a whole wealth of freelancers available there to help you with your narration project. Any other questions we can help with for now? Don't be shy, guys. Feel free to throw those questions in. I have a little bit of a delay, so I'll give it another couple of minutes in case we have any more questions. Now, if you are interested in talking with our sales team, you can reach sales@theurbanwriters.com. They'll be more than happy to help you with your queries and help you get started on your journey into Dibbly Create. And there's the URL. You're welcome to go ahead and click on that, put it into the browser. That'll take you to our sign up page. I highly recommend it from personal experience. It works beautifully. Any other questions, guys? I'll give it another minute in case we've got any last minute questions. Again, thank you so much for bearing with me throughout the technical difficulties. I hope you all got a lot out of today's session. I can tell you I certainly get a lot out of this utility myself. I've been using the Urban Writers for a couple of years. I've been using Create now for a few months as a tester, and now also using it to generate some of my own content. I'm finding it to be a fantastic tool for really augmenting and enhancing and accelerating my writing process. Even if I do still want to work with freelancers on certain projects, and I do, this is a great way to shortcut the process for me. I can generate outlines really fast. They're really detailed. All my research links are included. You know, the amount of time that this platform is saving me personally is just phenomenal. So I hope you all get a chance to explore and you also find it very useful for your projects. Dr. Leslie, yes, the recording will become available. It may take us a little bit of time to get it up on YouTube, but we'll certainly announce that once we get that done. Fantastic. I think that covers us for questions, everyone. Thank you so much for joining again and for bearing with me through the technical difficulties. Hope you all have a fantastic journey through Dibbly Create, and we look forward to doing some more webinars in the not too distant future. Next step for you is get in there and start creating. Thanks again for joining us.